This is Starting Point, a podcast that tracks Guyana's unprecedented growth from all vantage points. Join your hosts, Kiana Wilberg and Fariza Hanif, as they dive deep into the heart of topical issues. This is Starting Point, a podcast that tracks Guyana's unprecedented growth from all vantage points. Join your hosts, Kiana Wilberg and Fariza Hanif, as they dive deep into the heart of topical issues.
Welcome to Starting Point. I am your host, Kiana Wilberg. Today we are engaging one of the political heavyweights within Guyana's landscape, Mr. Jermain Figueira, former APNU Parliamentarian, and we have a number of questions lined up for him. Jermain, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
So, Jermain, you resigned from APNU and then you were quiet for a bit. And the question on everyone's mind is, what's next? Where are you going? So, can you give us that answer today?
Thank you for the opportunity to be on your podcast. I think this is a very upgraded podcast from what we would have seen, and I like the trajectory. It puts the other social media influencers and people who are doing podcasts to live their game.
Thank you.
So I'm very happy to be here and for the opportunity to answer your questions. Thanks for such an introduction. Some people may disagree, but nevertheless, you're aware, Kiana, that, and more so most of the electorate, that September 1st is what could be considered one of the most consequential elections in our history. It's very important. It will determine the trajectory of Guyana, and more so how the people of this country is going to benefit. And therefore, the voting experience, the voting exercise of all of the persons who are going to be participating in the process should be one that is guided by what they would have seen, what they would have experienced, and not be based on political loyalty or personality, because Guyana is at a place where significant transformation is happening. Whether you want to accept it or not, the facts and the evidence are there for all to see. It is tangibly out there. You could see the transformation, irrespective of the road network and agriculture and all of the respective sectors. It is being seen. And even those who may want to deny it, it is still our present reality. And therefore, the electorate has to be very conscious of those realities and the leadership that was provided to bring about those realities and make an informed decision. And a decision that is not influenced by party loyalty, by personality, but by a vision and a plan that could be executed, not by lofty promises that cannot be attained. And therefore, that would be an advice I would offer to the electorate of this country, to vote with intelligence. And I believe the Guyanese electorate are an intelligent bunch of people, and I think they would put Guyana first in their decision. And that is why I have remain silent for some time, because politics is something that could change in a week or in a day, and therefore one has to be prudent in the decisions that they make, because you have to be responsible with the decisions that you make, because at the end of the day it could impact your life or affect the lives of other people. So I basically took a backseat approach to observe. Because most times when people are playing chess, for example, they don't see the moves because you're in the game. So to have a different perspective, sometimes you have to stay back and look in. And it is from those observations and my own analysis of the politics of Guyana and where I would like to see my country go forward, I believe President Irfaan Ali, with some of his imperfections, like all leaders. There's no leader in this country who hasn't erred. And President Irfaan Ali is no exception. but I believe his leadership far outweighs his imperfections. I believe he's committed to the development of this country. And honestly, I believe he wants to see the unification of our people. And therefore, I would say right here and now, point quite frankly, that I believe Irfaan Ali deserves to be given another chance to be reelected to office. I believe he's committed to the cause. I believe he has a vision and a plan, and he brings the energy that is required. He's not adverse to criticisms. He listens, and I think at times he acts on those constructive criticism. To his fault, it takes sometimes too long to act. But the fact is, he's not opposed to listening to people who have criticized his decisions sometimes, and therefore, I could live with a leader who accepts that, I may be wrong here, but when I do my own introspection, I believe I need to go back and correct, and I see that in President Irfaan Ali, and therefore, my endorsement of him goes beyond rhetoric. I'm going to actively involve myself in his re-election campaign because I think he deserves another opportunity to lead this country.
Okay.
I know it's a lengthy response, but I think it needed to be said because, like I said, this is a very important elections, and therefore people must engage this process intelligently, and I hope I can offer some of that in my responses to help them make their decision.
But Jermain, you have been associated with the APNU, and during that association, having that party be aligned to your political identity, you've been very critical of the Irfaan Ali administration. So what was the turning point for you?
Well, like I said, I'm very much cognizant of the fact that many in Guyana, especially in my hometown, Linden and Region 10, would ask such a question. And the answer to me is very simple. I see the changes that is occurring in this country, and more so, those who may say why Jermain Figueira is supporting President Ali and his administration, because he was one of the most vocal, most critical opposition member.
Yes.
And that is true. And I don't believe that will change, because I speak truth, irrespective of which side of the divide I'm on. And I believe my boldness and candor in speaking truth has landed me in many difficult situations. But I'm not deterred from speaking my truth, not deterred from being constructive in my criticisms, irrespective of my support to President Ali. I mean, I see him as a good young leader, and he will make mistakes. But I will not allow his office that he holds to deter me from saying, yo, I think this is wrong. This is what needs to be done. You don't have to accept it, but I will speak my truth. And I have seen him to be mature to accept constructive criticisms. So irrespective of where I stand in the political space, that has always been my position, to speak the truth, to be critical when I believe something needs to be done better. And I that is what I do. And that has caused me to be a simple handshake, for example. I see that as juvenile, immature. So when that was a decision taken by my party, I opposed it. So that has been my style, and nothing will change that.
How has your support base, I mean, have you told your support base as yet that you are officially endorsing President Irfaan Ali for re-election? Have you told your family, friends? Has there been pushback?
Of course, I am from the bedrock of support of the People's National Congress reform. Linden, to me, is like Port Morant for the PPP. So, and I have been doing a lot of work in my community. The people know me, and obviously some would feel offended by me because they know I have been forceful, very critical of the government in a lot of areas that I still believe more should be done. So obviously those are going to be some of the sentiments of some of the people closest to me. But I believe I'm making the right choice because this decision, I believe, will help to further the development and the transformation of my community and give the people of Linden more opportunities to strive and become economically independent, to be more educated, to get involved in business. And that is what I want. Absolute opportunities and the enhancement of Linden and Region 10's participation in the national agenda to be more pronounced, and I will lend my voice to that in every regard. But I like I said, Linden has always been close to me. The people love me there, so obviously they would be, some of them, they're more for me than those who are against me. I mean, my
Do you
tree.
think they love you enough to accept your decision?
Well,
and to find favor with it. And the reason why I'm asking that is you said in your introduction that you are not just going to talk about having President Irfaan Ali re-elected, but you are going to actively participate in the campaign to ensure that that becomes a reality. So how confident are you in your support base that they will come to understand, they will get over the offense, the heartache, if that's what they're feeling, and they will allow you to, exert that sort of influence to bring them into the PPP's camp?
Well, no support base is definite. People repose confidence in you as a leader, not by your words, but by your actions. And a lot of people in Linden have seen throughout the years how committed I was in giving service to them, in my own endeavors aligning with the organization that I represent, in Parliament, in my role as chairman of the Public Accounts Committee. I have always been repping for Linden. Every issue of importance I have led from the front, and no one can deny that. So,
except for Norton.
well, I'm least concerned with Norton's opinion.
Okay.
I believe my footprint has been embedded into the community with the services that I have given. My entire life has been about service. I have been an educator for over 20 years. I've been in administrator of football at the Upper Denver Football Association. And my work speaks for itself. The community knows me and they know the work that I would have been doing. So Mr. Norton has a right to say whatever it is that he wants to say. But Linden people can count how many times Mr. Norton has come. But I don't even want to waste time talking to him about Mr. Norton. I have said what I said with regards to my initial resignation statement. And I want to clarify something because I in that statement, some persons said that Figueira accused the PNC of being racist. Never in a million years will I accuse the People's National Congress organization of being a racist organization. Never. Because it's not. But the fact of the matter is we live in an ethnically divided country. And we have supporters of both political parties, the major political parties, which we all know is the PNC and the PPP, administration. And we cannot be naive to the fact that in both of the support bases of those two organizations, we have people who are inclined to have a racist view. And that is an undeniable fact from both sides of the organization. But the fact is, on both sides, the support base far outweighs the membership of the organization. The PNC has probably 30,000 members, but the support base far outweighs it. Likewise, the People's Progressive Party. And we have people who have racist tendency, and we must oppose that in every regard, because we must always strive to bring this country together, because that is what we must do as leaders. And we must condemn racism wherever it raises its ugly head. So I needed to take this opportunity to clarify that misperception. And I figure it's because I would have said I observe our party not repudiating some comments made by Dr. Hines, eminent Dr. Hines, political commentator, contributor. And I'm opposed to some of his positions he would have taken publicly. I believe in some regard they undermine the efforts being done to bring our people together. You could be black conscious. I am black conscious. But it must never come off as if you are hatred or against another race. Nothing is wrong with being black conscious. And I will forever be black conscious. Likewise, other races will always represent or favors what their culture promotes. But it doesn't mean I have to hate that other ethnic group. So when I say I'm upset with the party that I once was aligned with, knowing the philosophy of the party is to bring the ethnic groups together, would align with, I mean, you can align, but if these comments comes out of whoever you align with, and it's in the public space, you must, for the sake of the organization, distance yourself from that statement. You don't have to distance yourself from the organization you may want to align with. Mm-hmm. But the statements that may emanate out of that organization that you do not support, that you do not stand for, you are duty bound to reject those statements, because it can affect the entire organization, and the perception some may have. So I really wanted to, and I'm happy I had the opportunity to clarify that position. The People's National Congress Reform is a party that, from its inception, strive to bring the people of Guyana together. Likewise, I am seeing a more pronounced effort equally by the People's Progressive Party to do the same. And that is what we should strive as political organization and leaders in this country, either political, religious, the business community, to bring our people together.
I want to take you back to the question, the earlier question, and that was your position that you will be an active player in the re-election campaign. You intend to be an active player in the re-election campaign of the President, Dr. Mohamed Irfaan Ali. Do you believe that you have enough influence or clout to be successful or to take that campaign to Linden, which has been a stronghold and which you have been a representative, a face of?
Listen, I have said what I said, and I am committed to that. Mm-hmm. I believe President Irfaan Ali has been doing a good job, and I believe he should be re-elected. He has made mistakes, and those mistakes, I think, are minute with regards to all the achievements he was able to achieve in his presidency in all of the sectors. In some sectors, I believe more should be done and more can be done. But that in itself doesn't put me into the position to say he doesn't deserve another chance, because I'm of the view that he has done a lot to transform this country and take it to the heights it has been able to achieve in such a short space of time, and much more will be able to be achieved under his leadership. And I want to help in that regard. With regards to my influence and clout in the community, like I said, I have been doing a lot of work in the community, and a lot of people know the value that I bring and would have appreciated all of the efforts that I would have been bringing to the community in my service. So influence comes with people believing in you, people seeing that what you say you will do, and you're a man to your word. And some leaders, all they do is talk. I believe my demonstration of service throughout my tenure in the community as a community leader, as a national leader, has been exemplified by service. And some people appreciate what I would have brought to them in trying to bring relief, trying to enhance their life and make their businesses grow, their family lives better. People call me whenever there's certain events because they know I have a track record of going into the community and lend service even beyond us not being in government, with my own resources and the resources of the organization in which I represent. And that has been consistent even on to now. So they are going to have to make a decision for them. Everyone has their own democratic right to make a decision that they believe is in their best interest. And it is up to leaders to say to them, listen, this is what we are offering. This is what we would have done. And this is what we're saying to you we will continue to do. Here is our track record. Here is our opponent's track record. And like I said, I believe the electorate are intelligent people and they will make their own assessment. Some will vote on emotions. You can't deny that. Some will vote on popularity. But if you are serious about your children's welfare, you're serious about your own welfare, you're serious about your community's advancement and its development in all of the sectors, look at the comparative and make an intelligent decision and vote. I will play my part with regards to saying to the populace, this is why I'm saying this man deserves another chance. And I will articulate as I have always been articulating. Even when I'm highly critical of the government, this is what my views are with regards to that. For example, Gaisuku. In Parliament at the last debate, I said we are of the view that the government's allocation to Gaisuku could be looked at from a different vantage point to create greater opportunities for the employees and for Gaisuku to become more viable by us looking at other alternative crops, because there are many substitutes right now in the world for sugar. And our neighbor produces 25% of the world market for sugar, right there, Brazil. So we are in a very difficult position to be competitive. And therefore, what do we do in having recognized such a challenge for us as a country, and more so the company Gaisuku? We need to look at it from multiple vantage points to see how best, with the resources that we are plugging into the industry, how it could better serve the people of Guyana and more so add to the revenue that it could contribute if we look at other crops and diversify the industry in a way that more people can be employed, more people can become economically empowered, and moreover, more revenue can be garnered from the investment that we're putting into Gaisuku. So I will advance arguments to the base to say, listen, let us make intelligent and informed decisions when we are going to put leaders in place. Don't let us vote based on emotions, because emotions could run you into problems. So let us look at the facts and make informed decisions. These are what we are putting to you on the table for your consideration. And that is what I'm going to advance. And if the people accept it, they will make their decision as they should as a democratic country. And that's their democratic right to choose whoever they choose to vote for. But every leader must advance a position and give the people options. And I will help President Irfaan Ali with the options that he presented to the people to ensure that he's re-elected.
Jermain, to wrap up, I have two quick questions for you. When you made the announcement to exit the APNU fold, Norton indirectly said that, or he likened you to Judas. He said that you were not doing work in Linden, that you were neglecting your duties, you're playing softball in Parliament. We heard his side. What's your side?
Guyana, I don't give Mr. Norton's opinion any weight whatsoever. He, in my view, with regards to what I would have done, is a clear example of someone who is delusional. Because my contributions in the National Assembly speaks for itself. My contribution in Linden speaks for itself. And the people of Linden and Region 10 and the people of Guyana knows the truth in that regard. So Mr. Norton is free to say whatever he chooses to say. It doesn't faze me. It cannot erase the footprints of service that I would have brought to the community and to this country. So it doesn't matter to me what he says. My work speaks for itself, and it is of service to the people of this country.
Fair enough, Jermain. Now, we've seen the Win Party going into Linden and causing some attraction, some attention. What are your thoughts on the Win Party and what impact it may have on APNU's support base? Do you think they're losing ground, or do you think it's just that in itself is also an illusion? What are you getting from the ground?
Well, I would comment to say that Win's entry into the political space is a true reflection of our democracy. But with regards to Win's visit to Linden, if it will impact the APNU's base, I believe the APNU and Mr. Norton can make their own assessment in that regard. That is how I would like to respond to that question, because like we have always said, the noise in the market don't determine the sale.
But you noted in your response earlier that the Lindeners, that they have to make a decision based on their assessment. And what's your message to them as these different parties enter into the various regions and they make their pitches and so forth? What's your message to them with respect to this particular party?
Well, this particular party has not made any pitch. He said wait.
Well, it's been very soon and soon.
No, listen.
And diversified.
Only two political parties have put some views or some of their visions and their plans for how they would like this country to be developed. That is the People's Progressive Party and the APNU. Win has not said anything. And like I said, it's not about emotions. It's not about the popularity contest. It's about a plan and a vision for the country. And as it is right now, we have two plans that is available to the electorate. Win is claiming that they will present a plan, whatever that is. I'm of the view, if you are running in an election and you want to be the head of state of this country, you don't have to wait for a plan to be written and presented. You run in for office. You must have an idea in your head from the outset. This is why I'm getting involved into the process, because I want to see improvements in these particular areas, because it is not happening. And therefore, I am availing myself to the electorate to be considered, because this is my vision for the country, for the people of Guyana. We are 44 days or 43 days election, and we are still awaiting what is WIN's plan. And you can't win without a plan.
Yes,
Because
indeed.
like I said, the electorate, in my view, is a very intelligent grouping of people who will make a decision. And the decision will be influenced by what plan is being presented before them. And as it is, one plan has been presented by this political party, the other plan has been presented by the other political party. I believe as it is right now, Irfaan Ali's plan is more superior. He has a track record of implementing his plan and his vision. And I think his plan will be to continue what would have started. And therefore, I'm of the view that I could help in that regard. And more so, make the representation for Linden and Region 10 to be a part of the national agenda on a more grandiose scale, because I can lend my voice to that. And I appreciate the PPP's makeup having a civic component, and that is why you haven't seen me on any political list, because I don't believe you have to be on a list to make a contribution. As a citizen of this country, you have a civic duty to contribute if you choose to. And in that regard, that is what I would position myself and avail myself to be of service.
Jermain, I want to thank you for participating in today's discussion.
Thank you.
Very eye-opening. So thanks again. And I'm sure that we'll be running into you later on this year for some more insights on Guyana's development from all vantage points.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much for your opportunity to be on your podcast. I think you guys are doing a wonderful job. But in closing, I wish to state that, the timing of this interview and the statement I will present to the public is no accident. I purposely waited until nomination of the list of candidates were presented, because I believe the decision which I have to make and will make is highly going to be based on service to my community, my people, and Guyana as a whole. I did not ask for any favor in this decision to support President Irfaan Ali. This is all about service to my community and to my country in whichever regard they see fit. It matters not to me.
Thanks again, Jermain.
Yeah.
To our audience, thank you as well for staying with us. This has been an episode of A Starting Point. I'll see you next week for more insights.
Thanks for watching Starting Point. Follow us on Spotify, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn for critical updates and exclusives.